Elite Facts presents
10 facts about North Korea that the media doesn't tell you.
10.
Communist country? Contrary to popular belief, North Korea is not a communist country, and technically it hasn't been since the Soviet Union fell. Instead, North Korea runs on a political religion known as Juche.
9.
Carbon dioxide emission. North Korea is one of the cleanest countries for carbon emission. They are ranked 44th in the world, having less emission than the United States, the UK, Japan, Germany, and even South Korea.
8.
Western lies. In recent years, it's been a game to make jokes about North Korean life, as well as the nation's accomplishments. It started when some media outlet claimed that Kim Jong-un forced everyone to get the same haircuts as him. Everyone believed this to be true. However, when people visited the country, they reported not seeing a single person with his hairstyle. In fact, North Korea has 28 approved male hairstyles. On top of this, Western news outlets have made up outrageous falsehoods, like North Korea is the first to land an astronaut on the sun. No one is that stupid.
7.
Business ownership. According to a Swiss-born businessman, Felix Abt, many of the widely read accounts of life in North Korea tell far from the whole story. He also states that North Korea isn't as destitute and oppressed as its escapees would have you believe. He said, quote, "For 7 years I made a living in the world's most closed-off communist country as, of all careers there, a businessman."
6.
Hypocrisy. American nuclear weapons are pretty safe. The U.S. military has 7 decades of experience in storing and maintaining nuclear weapons in a secure manner. Most importantly, the United States has strong command and control systems. North Korea are doing it the exact same way, albeit in a different manner, yet they get criticism from the world over.
5.
Cheap workers. Although it is fairly common knowledge, labor in North Korea is really cheap. However, when comparing this with benefits such as free healthcare, free education, and even free housing, it's not quite as bad as you might actually think. Despite the North's decision to shut down the Kaesong industrial complex, there are still tycoons who've managed to set up businesses in the North to take advantage of the rock-bottom labor prices. According to J.H. Koo, director of the U.S.-Korea Institute at Johns Hopkins, quote, "Their comparative advantage is cheap labor, hence their export of labor to earn hard currency."
4.
Free education and free healthcare. Free healthcare, along with free public education, was an important pillar of North Korea's socialism. By the Social Insurance Law of 1947, North Korea introduced free healthcare for workers and their families. In the post-war period, healthcare workers were given an important responsibility for rehabilitation of the country in the state's efforts towards rebuilding and expanding medical and childcare facilities. By 1960, a complete and comprehensive free healthcare system was established and is still in place to this very day.
3.
Literacy rate. Just because education is free doesn't mean the education provided will be bad, as it has been reported by the Central Intelligence Agency that North Korea has a 100% literacy rate.
2.
Free housing. Although not big, you are at least given a roof over your head when living in North Korea. That being said, there is a system in place for housing citizens, as North Korea does not have poor and rich class, but rather privileged people living in Pyongyang and ordinary people living elsewhere. You cannot choose where to live. Living in Pyongyang is privilege for the healthiest citizens who perform well at work, to give a good image to foreign visitors. Handicapped, disabled, poorly working people, and retired people are housed on the countryside.
1.
North Korea's economic growth. Modest economic growth has improved conditions for a segment of the population, according to media accounts of the report. As per usual procedure, the think tank of the U.S. legislature did not make the report public, as media outlets always focus on either the negative aspects of North Korean life or are just making up stories to make the nation look ridiculous. The sunnier economic conditions can be attributed to limited agricultural and labor reforms introduced by the regime of Kim Jong-un, the report argues. In a break from its communist past, the government now allows farmers to keep a portion of their harvest and empowers managers to make some hiring and firing decisions.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.